Along the way in my career, I've had an opportunity to travel the world. And I take that experience of growing up in this little small town with all of these different dynamics in my world, and I kind of look at it and go, it kind of can't get any worse than that. What possible risk could I be taking by venturing off into other things based on what I've experienced? My first opportunity to travel outside of the United States, I was working for a French-owned company called Capgemini, and I got to go to Paris. I was going to International Program Management School in a little town outside of Paris called Béoust, France. And literally, at this learning compound that Capgemini ran, they had armed guards. So in preparation for this trip, I had taken a little bit of French in high school, couldn't really speak a lot of French, started reading some books, started trying to brush up on my French. And then I stepped back and I remembered something that my grandmother told me. She said, baby, if you treat people good, they're going to treat you good back. And so I went over to France and I had this experience, and it was first time, as I said, first time out of the country. And I realized that, you know what? People are sort of just people all over the world. And in International Program Management School, I had people from all over the world in my class. And that was my first kind of international experience. And over time, in growing my company Transformation Point, I've had an opportunity to deliver leadership programs around the world. Across 17 countries, I've done personality assessments on people over 20, 25 countries. And coming back to what personality assessments allowed me to do is to understand that people are generally wired a certain way. So there are 11 things that I can tell you about how I'm wired that allow me to live inspired on a day-to-day basis, because I know exactly what I need to be inspired. Number one, if I'm talking to you, I just want you to tell me what I need to know. I prefer for people to be direct, candid, and matter-of-fact in how they deliver the message. Number two, I need to feel valued by other people. So in other words, the genuine appreciation of others. Now, on that particular dimension, on the assessment that I use called the Berkman Method Assessment, it's called the high acceptance score. And it can also mean a need for sociability. And what I've learned about my unique wiring is that I love being around people, but I also love to be by myself. And so it helps me to understand that when I'm around people, I'm looking to do something of value. And I've pretty much designed my life to do that in all my interactions that I do from a working or a career perspective. The third thing you need to know about me is the fact that I'm a blend of organized and flexible. So in other words, I like to impose structure and organization on other people, but I don't like them imposing it on me. Consequently, I avoid situations that are highly structured unless I'm the one putting in place the structure. The fourth thing, I like to go slow to go fast, meaning I like to move forward with a plan, and I need to see the value in what it is that I'm doing or the purpose behind what it is that I'm doing. So in other words, if you want to get me engaged, it needs to be on value-added activity. Fifth thing, empathy. I'm a person that when I'm dealing with issues that involve feelings, I need someone that is going to listen. Not to solve, not to be rational, not to be logical. I just want to feel felt. The next thing, freedom. I prefer consistency and stability in my personal relationships, in my personal life. However, outside of that, I like to be able to call my own shots and set my own pace. I like to do it my way, do my own thing, have lots of autonomy. The next thing, I like to be focused. So in other words, I don't want 15 balls in the air, I want 3. So I put myself in situations that allow me to focus rather than situations that cause me to divide my attention across multiple different things. The other is that I like to be decisive but I'm also a blend of thoughtfulness. So in other words, I don't have a lot of patience with other people making decisions, but I want all the time in the world to make them myself. Thorough analysis. Another element that's important to know about me is that I prefer a success-oriented environment. In other words, I am not motivated just because it's hard. I'm motivated when success is possible. Another thing you need to know about me is that when you look at the totality of all of those 11 dimensions, all of my choices that I make are designed around knowing who I am. And so for me, living inspired is about putting myself or making choices, deliberate choices, and making decisions that align with those 11 things that I know about myself. And what that allows me to do is in the moment, in the present, to make choices that allow me to be thoroughly engaged and thoroughly inspired at all times. Why? Because the future that I want is aligned with being and living inspired. It takes less energy to be inspired. It sort of puts me in control. I don't look for other people as my inspiration. I look within myself. So that's about me. That gives you a little bit of insight and background about how I came to be in this place. In the relationships that we have in our lives, professionally and personally, the thing we have to understand is that they're not broke, therefore they don't need to be fixed. We're not broken, and we don't need to be fixed. We just need to understand what we need, how to be effective at managing that, but also being able to have the conversations to understand what other people need, so that then we can be deliberate about creating a space where we can be effective together. So one of the questions I'd like for you to ask yourself when you leave here, how would your whole life, you as the whole person, be different if in fact you were able to live inspired every single day and be able to turn that switch on and adjust that dial inside of yourself rather than needing or looking outside of yourself to be able to live inspired?
Hi, I'm Kevin King, founder and CEO of Transformation Point, and thank you for visiting our website. My sole purpose in life is to help others live inspired. To live inspired, we have to have an understanding of our past, our present, and our desired future. Generally speaking, our past has an overwhelming impact on our ability to live in the present and to achieve that desired future. And what I'd like to have an opportunity to do is to listen authentically to your story so that we can help you understand how to make that future possible. In our series of videos here, as well as our blog posts and other information you'll find on our website, it's all designed to help you unlock the path to living inspired. Thank you.